Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Monday, April 8th, 2019. After months of not being acknowledged on television, Lars Sullivan finally made his first appearance on Monday Night Raw earlier tonight. Sullivan attacked Kurt Angle and hit Angle with a headbutt off the top rope. That wasn't the only surprise we got on the Raw after Mania. The Undertaker interrupted Elias' promo. Elias charged at Undertaker but got hit with a big boot. Undertaker then hit a chokeslam and tombstone piledriver on Elias. And also, after tonight's Monday Night Raw episode ended, Dean Ambrose came out and gave a farewell speech with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns by his side. Ambrose talked about how he was happy that Rollins won the Universal title and how Reigns beat the crap out of cancer, though he didn't say crap, gotta keep it PG. Ambrose also praised the Barclays Center and the fans that attend WrestleMania weekend events. So, want to give a big shout out to Dean Ambrose, a guy that I always loved watching in WWE ever since he made his debut back in 2012 with Rollins and Reigns, and watched them grow up in the WWE, and always liked Dean Ambrose. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio, which is 4 hours away from where I live, and he grew up without his dad, which I also done. And see him as a big inspiration, you know, especially when he won the United States Championship and held it for a very long time, went down as one of the longest reigning U.S. champions ever, and winning the WWE Championship as well. So, Dean, whatever you choose to do, go to another promotion or just retire, hey man, the sky's the limit for you. And I want to thank you for all the great memories that you made in WWE for the fans. F4WOnline.com is reporting that AJ Styles won't be on tomorrow's episode of SmackDown Live. A fan had written the following to Dave Meltzer: "Hey guys, just a heads up, just saw AJ Styles at the airport and he was moving super slowly. With him leaving town, guessing this means no SmackDown and potential injury." Now, Mike Johnson of PWInsider.com noted the following about Styles. Mike Johnson said, "AJ Styles was injured last night while wrestling Randy Orton and was pulled from his scheduled WrestleMania Access VIP meet and greet due to the injury. Want to send good vibes and well wishes out to the phenomenal one." Batista wrote the following on his Instagram page: "To all the WWE fans across the world that gave me the opportunity to suspend your disbelief, thank you. From the biggest part of my heart, thank you for letting me entertain you. Tonight was my storybook ending and I wanted to leave you with all I had to give. I'll miss this theater of violence more than I can express in words, but I am officially retiring from sports entertainment. I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I leave in great health, and without a doubt the show will go on. I had a hell of a run. Thank you for the journey." Want to send a big thank you out to Batista. I remember when Batista first came up to the main roster. That was, I think, back in 2004, or it might have been in 2003. That was back when Monday Night Raw was on Spike TV. And he shortly joined Evolution, and then he left Evolution. He won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 21, and he became a huge star, and never looked back. You know, from that moment on, he just became a bigger and bigger star, and of course he went on to be in Guardians of the Galaxy as well. And thank you so much, Batista. There was a lot of great moments that I really enjoyed. My favorite match was the match that he had with Triple H at Bad Blood. I believe that was the Hell in a Cell match, though I could completely be wrong on that. It's been so long. But that Hell in a Cell match that he had with Triple H was amazing. Can't wait to see Batista in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Big E wrote on Twitter that Hulk Hogan personally apologized to him backstage at WrestleMania 35 over Hogan's racist comments. Fans took note that during Hulk Hogan's Hall of Fame appearance, the New Day members did not stand nor clap for him. The New Day were vocal critics of Hogan being brought back when the announcement was first made. Big E tweeted on Twitter after WrestleMania, "I'd like to think everyone deserves a path to redemption. I appreciate Hulk Hogan taking the time to apologize and hear my position today." Also, Randy Orton wrote the following on his Instagram page: "For the live crowd that saw this tonight during my match at WrestleMania at MetLife Stadium tonight, I would like to apologize on behalf of WWE for screwing up and shining a bright light in your eyes for 95% of our match. You missed a really great effing match. Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com discussed the finish of Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 35 and how people were confused by it. Dave Meltzer said, "That was the finish because people were out there going, the referee screwed up. None of that's true, but she wasn't supposed to get the shoulders up. It just happened. It wasn't that I don't believe for a second that she was trying to play a game like some of the old time guys used to do where they didn't want to do a job and they're kind of pressured into it, so they'll kind of raise their shoulder up to kind of tell everyone, oh, I'm doing a job I don't want to do. I don't believe for a second that she's doing that." Meltzer continued on by saying, "Whatever it was, her shoulder ended up coming up and they called attention to it, which I thought was really weird. Backstage, I know that because people did not know the commentary. I know people who were not even aware of this, because I was going like, they called attention to the fact that her shoulder wasn't up, and it's like, oh well." Meltzer continued on by saying, "I don't know if it's Vince's call, I don't know if Corey Graves did it on his own because that's not what the replay showed, but the fact that they did the replay the show, it makes me think that they did it in production. It's production's call. But that was the only screw up. She was supposed to be really pinned." Meltzer mentioned that WWE had considered a submission finish by saying, "This is what I know. At one point the finish was going to be a submission finish, and there were a lot of people who were for it and a lot of people who were against it. In the end, the idea was a pinfall and not a submission." Meltzer also noted that Rousey apparently suffered a broken hand by saying, "I have some news. Ronda has a broken hand, a severely broken hand. She was just diagnosed with it." Thanks to RingsideNews.com for the quotes. MMA superstar Conor McGregor wrote the following on his Twitter account after Becky Lynch won both titles last night at WrestleMania. Conor McGregor said, "Congrats to Ireland's Becky Lynch, the WWE's first champ. Wow, what a match these ladies put on. Ronda Rousey is something special in that ring, as is Charlotte Flair of the Flair dynasty. Stephanie McMahon, you are right. I could not do what these athletes do. Or could I?" In an interview with TMZ.com, Stephanie McMahon expressed interest in signing McGregor by saying, "Anybody who has a real big personality, I'd love to have Gronk in the ring, Conor McGregor, huge personality. It's really about bringing in the biggest personalities with the biggest athletic ability. We are always having conversations." The New York Times is reporting that Zachary Madsen, the man identified as Bret Hart's attacker at the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, gave the following statement to police. "I just felt like it was the right moment." Madsen, who faces assault and criminal trespass charges, was held on $1,500 bail. 2 protective orders were also granted which prohibit Madsen from having contact with Hart and a security guard that helped separate them. Hart was said to have felt discomfort in his hip and was treated at the scene. Both Hart and the security officer were taken to the hospital after the incident as a precautionary measure and then released. Also, Bret Hart wrote the following on his Instagram page, "What a wild weekend to say the least. First of all, I want to thank WWE for not only the Hall of Fame honor for myself and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, but for their hospitality with my family and friends. Regarding the ceremony, firstly, I want to let everyone know that I am okay and was not injured. If there's one thing I want everyone to take away from the Hall of Fame ceremony is not so much what happened, but how I wasn't going to let anything stop me from completing my tribute to my best friend and our team. I'm also glad I got to join Natty and Beth Phoenix for their WrestleMania moment. Thank you everyone for your kind thoughts and words." Numerous WWE fans had transportation issues following the conclusion of the WrestleMania 35 show. Due to delays with New Jersey's transit, more fans resorted to having to use ride-sharing services such as Uber and Lyft, which caused a delay with those services as well. Fans that attend WrestleMania have been very vocal about the situation, noting that they were basically stranded outside in the rain waiting for transportation home. New Jersey Transit spokesman Jim Smith issued the following statement to NJ.com regarding what happened. Jim Smith said, "The primary factor contributing to the post-event delays was the WWE's decision to extend the event to 12:30 a.m., which had significant operational impacts on the evening. NJ Transit was not informed of this decision until late last night. The decision to extend this event resulted in our inability to operate some of those trains due to federal requirements limiting train crew hours." Also, New York Governor Phil Murphy issued a statement saying, At the end of the day, if folks are frustrated, they ought to be. I would have been crazed. It's completely and utterly dog ate my homework unacceptable. We're fixing it. We're going to learn from this, and I'll be damned if it happens again. In addition to that, there was an incident with a person that police had to remove from the subway's train tracks. And finally, here on Jammin' John's Wrestling News, the main card of WrestleMania 35 featured 12 matches and had an airtime of 5 hours, 24 minutes, and 16 seconds. Here is a breakdown of the match lengths courtesy of CagesideSeats.com. The shortest match on the card was 1 minute. That was Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins was 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley, 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin, 5 minutes and 59 seconds. SmackDown Tag Championship Fatal 4-Way, 10 minutes and 4 seconds. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, 10 minutes and 10 seconds. The Women's Tag Championship Fatal 4-Way, 10 minutes and 47 seconds. The Miz versus Shane McMahon, 15 minutes and 28 seconds. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, 16 minutes and 12 seconds. Rousey versus Flair versus Lynch, 21 minutes and 27 seconds. Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, 23 minutes and 45 seconds. And the longest match of the night, Triple H versus Batista, at 24 minutes and 46 seconds. The times add up to 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 11 seconds, or about 45.1% of the overall airtime. CSS also noted that Triple H has been in the longest match at WrestleMania every year since 2013, except for 2016. That is your news for Monday, April 8th, 2019. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin' John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin' John. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin' John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, want to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/jamminjohn. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/jamminjohn. This is Jammin' John saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.